Inflation, rising interest rates, what's going to happen with prices? Holy moly, there is a lot going on in the world, in the real estate market right now. Today is June 20th, 2022, and I thought that it was really important that we put together a video right now to bring you up to speed with what is going on right now. So what does it mean when we hear on the news that the Fed raised interest rates? And then what impact does that have on mortgage rates? So the Fed is raising interest rates right now to combat the really bad inflation that we have. And then the mortgage industry is obviously impacted by what the Fed's interest rates are. Mortgage rates are going to go up when the Fed raises rates beyond what the mortgage industry is expecting them to raise it to. So that's why last week, even though we saw the biggest rate hike since 1994, that's why we did not see mortgage rates explode after that happened, because the mortgage industry was expecting them to raise 0.75. So really important takeaway I want everyone to have here. Just because the Fed raises rates, that does not necessarily mean we're going to see an explosion of mortgage rates. Let's talk about the impact that these rising rates are having on our real estate market. So these rates are cooling things off, and this is good. It was just too crazy. Pre-March, before the rates went up, we were talking 30 offers on attractive homes, really hard to get offers accepted. So it's a much better situation. If you're a buyer right now, this means that you can be more picky. There's less competition out there. When you identify a house that you like, we can probably get your offer accepted on. And then what is going to be happening down the road? There's basically two lines of thought on this one. One major line of thought is that we are not going to see prices drop. If we were appreciating at like 18 to 20% in the kind of COVID markets, there's a lot of room for it to cool off and still be positive appreciation. The more doomsday opinion is that we're going to see a 10 to 15% drop in prices. Oh my God. If you purchase a property now, it really doesn't matter what happens with its value over the next year or two, because you're going to be holding on to the property for most likely 5 to 7 years before you sell it and then get your next one. By then, it will not matter what happens in the immediate short term with regard to what prices are going to do over the next year or two. So this is where it just makes sense right now. If you qualify, get in the market, get that home of your dreams, stop paying rent. So what is the cost of waiting and renting and seeing what's going to happen with home prices? This is very important. A lot of people are not taking into account the fact that renting means you are going to be paying your landlord money every single month that's going to be paying off their asset, rather than if you were a homeowner, that money is going to paying off your asset. So here's a very important concept. When you're a renter, your rent goes up year over year and your equity stays flat at zero. When you are a homeowner, your payment is what stays flat, right? Because you're locking in that payment, and then your equity is what goes up year over year. So it's a no-brainer, guys. If you can afford to do so, stop renting, buy now. And so if we're headed into a recession right now, does that mean that we're going to see prices drop? Not necessarily at all. If you look at this graph here, there's been only 2 recessions that have led to a drop in prices, one being very, very insignificant, the other one being what happened in 2008, which is nothing like the situation that we're in now. 2008 was where the real estate market was really, really messed up. There were horrible lending practices that led to a global economic meltdown because of the real estate industry. Right now, the real estate industry is by no means the reason why we are having trouble in the economy. So to think that we're going to see a huge tank in prices just because we may be heading into a recession, that is not the case. In fact, over history, most recessions are associated with rising home prices as well.